The school bell rings, kids race out, eager for freedom, but for some, there's no warm embrace at home, no familiar voice asking, "How was your day?" These are the latchkey kids of the 80s and 90s, growing up in a time of shifting social norms and economic realities. They return to empty homes, fumbling with keys too big for their small hands. These kids learn to navigate the world on their own, their independence a badge worn with both pride and a touch of sadness. Imagine being 10 years old, responsible for unlocking the door, switching on the lights and making yourself a snack. This was the reality for millions of children. Their parents, often single mothers or dual-income families, worked long hours to keep up with the changing times. The quiet of an empty house became a familiar companion, a space filled with both anxieties and the thrill of self-sufficiency. For many latchkey kids, it wasn't just about letting themselves in, it was about navigating a world that wasn't quite built for them. They learned to decode microwave instructions, administer band-aids, and entertain themselves for hours on end. They became masters of their own small domains, finding comfort in routines and the quiet hum of the refrigerator. But within this independence bloomed a complex mix of emotions, a constant dance between freedom and fear. The freedom of an empty house was a double-edged sword. On one hand, it offered a taste of autonomy rarely experienced at such a young age. These kids could blast their favorite music, raid the pantry without judgment, and lose themselves in their own worlds. The absence of constant supervision fostered creativity, resourcefulness, and a sense of self-reliance that became a defining characteristic. They learned to trust their instincts, solve problems independently, and navigate challenges with a tenacity born out of necessity. Yet this freedom often came at a price. The silence of an empty home could be deafening, amplifying feelings of loneliness and vulnerability. Every creak of the floorboard, every gust of wind against the window, could send shivers down their spines. The comfort of parental presence, the reassurance of a hug or a shared laugh, was often deeply missed. They yearned for connection, for someone to share their triumphs and anxieties with. This constant push and pull between freedom and fear left an indelible mark on their young psyches. They learned to be independent, yes, but they also craved security and emotional connection. The experience instilled in them a deep understanding of their own resilience, but it also highlighted the essential human need for belonging and support. These early experiences would go on to shape their relationships, their parenting styles, and their outlook on life. The weight of responsibility carried on such small shoulders cast a long shadow. Latchkey kids, thrust into adult-like roles before their time, often struggled to reconcile their childhood desires with their grown-up obligations. They became masters of disguise, presenting a brave face to the world while grappling with anxieties and insecurities behind closed doors. The need to appear self-sufficient, to not burden their already stretched parents, often prevented them from seeking help or confiding in others. This premature exposure to responsibility had a profound impact on their development. Many excelled academically, driven by a deep-seated need to succeed and prove their competence. They were often fiercely independent, resourceful, and capable beyond their years. However, this outward success often masked a deep-seated fear of failure and a constant need for validation. The pressure to be good, to not add to their parents' burdens, could be overwhelming. As they matured, these early experiences manifested in different ways. Some struggled with intimacy, finding it difficult to let down their guard and rely on others. The fear of vulnerability, ingrained from years of fending for themselves, created invisible barriers in their relationships. Others, however, channeled their experiences into empathy and compassion, becoming the caregivers and confidants their younger selves had yearned for. They understood the silent struggles of others, the hidden anxieties masked by a brave face. The latchkey generation experienced a unique paradox. They grew up fast but often felt left behind. While their peers enjoyed the carefree abandon of childhood, they navigated a world of adult responsibilities. They learned to cook, clean, and care for themselves, skills that instilled a sense of pride but also set them apart. They often felt like outsiders, caught between two worlds but belonging fully to neither. This sense of being different extended beyond their home lives. At school, they might have been the ones who couldn't attend sleepovers or join after-school activities because of their responsibilities. They witnessed their friends' carefree laughter, their shared secrets and inside jokes from a distance. The longing to belong, To experience the simple joys of childhood created a sense of aching nostalgia for a life they never had. This feeling of being different, of straddling the line between childhood and adulthood, could be isolating. They carried the weight of their responsibilities with a quiet dignity, often hiding their vulnerabilities behind a facade of maturity. They yearned for connection, for someone to see beyond their capable exterior and acknowledge the child within. Theirs is a story of resilience, yes, but also of longing, of dreams deferred, and of the bittersweet ache of a childhood that wasn't quite their own. Amidst the challenges, being a latchkey kid fostered a unique set of strengths. Left to their own devices, these children developed remarkable self-reliance. They learned to trust their judgment, solve problems independently, and entertain themselves for hours. This early independence instilled a sense of agency, a belief in their ability to navigate the world on their own terms. This resourcefulness extended beyond practical skills. They became adept at reading people, sensing unspoken emotions, and navigating complex social dynamics. The absence of constant adult supervision forced them to rely on their own intuition, to decipher the nuances of human interaction, and to develop a strong moral compass. They learned to trust their gut, to stand up for themselves, and to advocate for their needs. These experiences became the building blocks of their resilience. They learned to adapt to change, to bounce back from setbacks, and to find creative solutions to unexpected challenges. The ability to self-soothe, to find comfort in their own company, and to draw strength from within became an invaluable asset. They emerged from their childhoods with a deep well of inner strength, a quiet confidence in their ability to weather life's storms. While independence was a defining trait, the yearning for connection remained a constant undercurrent. Latchkey kids, often starved for adult attention, craved genuine connection and emotional intimacy. They longed for someone to confide in, to share their anxieties and triumphs with, to offer the unconditional love and support they often missed. However, the very experiences that fostered their independence also created barriers to intimacy. The need to be self-sufficient, to not burden others with their problems, often prevented them from reaching out. They struggled to trust, to let down their guard, and to allow themselves to be vulnerable. The fear of rejection, of being perceived as weak or needy, kept them emotionally guarded. These challenges often manifested in their adult relationships. Some struggled to form lasting bonds, their fear of intimacy creating a cycle of short-lived connections. Others, determined to break the cycle, sought partners who offered the stability and emotional security they craved. They learned to navigate the delicate dance between independence and interdependence, recognizing that true strength lies in the ability to both give and receive love and support. And it's important to remember that not all latchkey kids share the same experiences. Some thrived in their independence, relishing the freedom and responsibility. Others struggled with loneliness, anxiety, and the pressure to grow up too fast. Their stories are as diverse as the families they came from, a tapestry woven with threads of resilience, vulnerability, and the enduring power of the human spirit. What unites them is not a shared narrative, but a shared understanding of the complexities of growing up in a time of rapid social change. They are the children of working mothers and dual-income families, of divorce and economic hardship, of a society grappling with new realities and shifting expectations. Their experiences, while unique to their generation, offer valuable insights into the universal challenges of childhood, the importance of connection, and the enduring impact of early experiences on adult life. The Latchkey generation reminds us that resilience is not the absence of struggle, but the ability to adapt and overcome. They teach us that vulnerability is not weakness, but the courage to be seen and heard. Their stories challenge us to re-examine our assumptions about childhood, to recognize the importance of emotional support, and to create a world where all children feel safe, loved, and valued. Today, as adults, many former Latchkey kids are finding healing and connection by sharing their stories. Online forums, support groups, and memoirs have created spaces for them to process their experiences, to recognize the lasting impact of their childhoods, and to find solace in knowing they are not alone. These shared narratives, often raw and honest, challenge the romanticized notions of childhood and shed light on the hidden struggles of a generation. By giving voice to their experiences, they are rewriting the narrative of their childhoods. They are reclaiming their stories, not as victims of circumstance, but as survivors who emerged from their experiences with a unique set of strengths and a deep understanding of the human condition. They are challenging societal expectations, encouraging open conversations about the challenges of parenting, and advocating for policies that support working families. Theirs is a story of resilience, yes, but also of hope, of the enduring power of the human spirit to overcome adversity and find connection in unexpected places. By sharing their stories, they are not only healing themselves but also creating a roadmap for others who may be struggling in silence. They are building bridges of understanding, fostering empathy, and reminding us that even in our most isolating experiences, we are never truly alone. If you were a latchkey kid, your story matters. Your experiences, however unique, hold valuable insights into the complexities of childhood, the challenges of parenting, and the enduring impact of early experiences. By sharing your story, you can connect with others who understand, challenge societal expectations, and advocate for change. You can help break down the stigma associated with being a latchkey kid and create a world where all children feel seen, heard, and supported. How can you share your story? Start by talking to someone you trust, a friend, family member, therapist, or support group. Write down your experiences in a journal or blog. Connect with other former latchkey kids online or through local organizations. Your voice matters. Your story has the power to heal, to inspire, and to create a more compassionate and understanding world. Let's keep the conversation going. Let's break the silence and shed light on the experiences of a generation. Let's create a world where all children have the love, support, and guidance they need to thrive.